What's up, guys? Stanskin1711, your digital Saiyan. And you might be wondering, what the hell am I doing out here in the middle of the woods? Well, a few reasons. One, I needed a little peacefulness this morning when I woke up, because a lot of things going on in my mind. Just needed to take a step back, recollect myself, feeling a lot better now. And nature has a very soothing property to it, very peaceful. But at the same time, nature can be wild. It can, not only does nature give to us, but it can also take from us. And that's a good metaphor for today's deck profile. See, today's deck is a green deck. It has to deal with nature, but it also has a bit of a wild side to it. See, today's deck profile is Green Imperial. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Alright guys, here we are at the webcam video side now, go over the deck profile for Green Imperial. Well, Green Omni, it does have in there. Anyway, Tamas. Starting off, we have one Tanamon. This is just a basic one of. There's a lot of different options you can actually use for your green eggs for this deck. I just have it like this one as like a one of. And then our our other one is 4 copies of Argomon. Really good card. I actually enjoy it a lot. At the beginning of your turn, when you unsuspend it, you get to gain extra memory. Can really help you if your opponent's trying to check you out. So, really good egg. But like I said, there's a few different options you can go with for your Tamos for the deck. Moving on to the actual main side of things. Normally, I go over the Digimon first and then the Tamers and options. I'm going to do that a little bit backwards this time. I'm actually going to do the Tamers and options first, and then go into the actual Digimon, just to see how things, and if you guys like this way better or the other way better, let me know. But first off, for Tamers, she's running 2 copies of Mimi. Really good card for green, helps you speed up your Digivolutions, speed up your chains, just as long as you have a level 5 green out. Or level 5 or higher green, I should say. And yeah, just tap it. Either hatch a new egg or bring what's in your racing area up. Really good card. Then for options, we are running 3 copies of Flower Cannon. Really good card in general, but in this deck it's even better. Because we do have some piercing effects, and this will allow us to swing over them and still deal damage. So, really good, especially when you hit insecurity. Just pretty much end the onslaught right there. Moving on to the level 3 Digimon. Starting off, we have 4 copies of level 3 Argomon. Now, this is mainly just here as another body. It's a 2-drop vanilla, so we can help choke our opponent out. But on top of that, we also are running 4 copies of Goblimon. For the same purpose. They're literally both the same card. Same stats, same cost, everything. It's just so that we can swarm the board out very quickly. Moving on to a few more level 3s, we have 4 copies of Agumon. This allows us to punch over bigger stuff. Swing over bigger things like, say, I don't know, a Craniumon for example. So, really good card. And then the last rookie we are running is 2 copies of Tentomon. Just for that suspended effect that he has. Because we do have ways to swing multiple times, and we have piercing, so being able to swing over multiple bodies in the same turn, always a good thing. Now, my champion ratio is a little odd, we'll say that much. And you're going to see why here in a second. But we have 3 copies of Gargomon, alongside 3 copies of Kabuterimon. Again, literally the same card. The only difference is Kabuterimon is just 1k stronger for an additional cost. But they're literally just here for the 1-cost Digivolution, as well as the Inheritable, which they both have the same. Being that they gain 1,000 power for every suspended Digimon your opponent has. I should actually put these over here a little bit. Next up, we have 2 copies of Stingmon. Really good fun card. And again, we have a lot of piercing effects, so we want to be swinging at our opponent's bodies. And this just allows us to gain more memory when we do. It's also another 1 cost evolution, which makes our deck really fast. So next up we have 2 copies of Togemon. Just helps us find our pieces a little bit faster. Do be careful with this card though, because remember, its effect will not trigger if it's still in the raising area. But yeah, it just helps us find our level 5s and level 6s just that much faster. Just a little bit faster. And then, rounding out our champions, we have 3 copies of Woodmon. Just because, you know, in the current meta, we need to have our blockers. We need to... They just are so helpful to help us survive. Moving on now to the ultimates. We do run 10 ultimates, which is a little bit high. But in this deck can handle that because of our counts so far. Starting off, we have 4 copies of Blossomon. Just, again, real cheap Evo because you can use these. You can rest something else on your board, or even what you're digivolving off of to make it a free Evo. So, really fun, really good card. Just to get up the chain very fast. Next up, we have 4 copies of Dino Beamon. This is one of our first piercers. It also has jamming. Also, if we have Mimi out on the board, we can digivolve into this and still swing with something. Very good card. And he also helps us out with something that we have coming up. Last but not least, for ultimates, we have 3 Imperialdramon. Being a blue card in the deck throws some of the stuff off, but being able to digivolve from green is never a bad thing. He also has jamming, and the hair roll allows us to our Imperials to swing multiple times. Speaking of the Imperials, we have 6 of them, being 4 copies of the Blue Imperial. Again, jamming, as well as when you digivolve into him, you untap everything with jamming, including himself. Really good card. Really nice combo with the Imperialdramon. In fact, if you digivolve off a Imperialdramon or a Dino B, he only costs 3 to digivolve. Really good, really good, really good. That's pretty much all I can say about that. I mean, he's also he's a big, beefy blue Digimon with jamming, so, not bad. Next up, we have 2 copies of the Green Imperial. This is another one of ours that has piercing. So, really good synergy with Flower Cannon. Really good synergy with Imperialdramon. Do be careful, though, if you have a Imperialdramon under this one. A, he does not have jamming. B, Imperialdramon's effect will swing on the first swing no matter what. So what you want to do is you want to swing at jamming first, or swing at security first with this guy. The Imperialdramon will trigger him. And then if they didn't block that swing, you can swing with the Imperial at something on their board if they have something tapped. And then you'll get the Imperial effect to untap him again and swing one more time. So, and then there's one more card in the deck. In my personal deck, just because we do have the 4 copies of Blue Imperial, we're running 1 copy of Omnimon. Really good card. I mean, there's a reason why this art for it is like 150 plus right now. I haven't checked it recently. But card is very strong. You can swing with it, bounce your level 6 back to your hand so you can reuse it on stand, and then on top of that, digivolving into it, you can nuke every copy or every card on your opponent's board that has the same name. So, for example, if your opponent's running green as well, say they have a Sarazmon build, you can literally use this to nuke every level full of Agumon they have on the board at the same time, because they all have the same name. So really good card, really good against swarm decks. Yeah. So that, guys, has been Green Imperial. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that bell, hit that like button, and hit subscribe. Till next time, guys, this is Danskin1711, your Digital Saiyan, signing off.